What do you think about the Athletic report that Kyrie and the Nets are at an impasse and that Kyrie could leave Brooklyn?
What? There is zero chance that Kyrie Irving plays for another team next year other than the Brooklyn Nets. Wow. Zero. Like, all this is fabricated. All this is, it's made up. To me, this is negotiation tactics. This is, hey, trying to squeeze and get a little bit more money. If that's the Nets being a little bit unsure, what are amendments in your contract that we can make sure that you play a certain amount of games. But, like, to me, this whole thing is, like, first off, Kyrie would not play for the New York Knicks. Kyrie had a chance to play for the New York Knicks earlier. Kyrie didn't want to play for the New York Knicks. All of a sudden, Kyrie wants to play for the New York Knicks.
Kyrie and me are going to bond over that eventually, I'm telling you.
Exactly. That's not going to happen. Sorry, New York. Not going to happen for the Knicks organization.
Yeah.
Kyrie and the Lakers, the whole LeBron James scenario. I get that their relationship has mended to a degree. But you're telling me if you're Rob Pelinka and if you're Jenny Buss, you're going to bring Kyrie Irving over to Darvin Ham in his first year for the Lakers organization, and the amount of how it takes to hit the ground running, you're going to do that to the Lakers? No, you're not going to do that. And the amount of disservice it would do to Kevin Durant, Kyrie's brother, who they came over together as a package deal, what it would do to that relationship more so than anything will be out of this world. There is no way in hell Kyrie Irving plays for another team other than the Nets next year.
It's time for Straight Talk, brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless.
Don't believe it.
Key, Jay, listen to what Kendrick Perkins said on First Take about what Kyrie means to KD.
They better find a way to get the deal done and find a way to keep Kyrie Irving. Because I'm going to tell you something. A brother that's probably not happy right now is Kevin Durant. And it's not that he's pissed off with Kyrie Irving. He's pissed off with the Brooklyn Nets. Look, I'm telling you this right now, Stephen A. If I'm KD and the Brooklyn Nets don't get this deal done with Kyrie Irving and Kyrie Irving leaves the Brooklyn Nets to sign with somebody else like the Lakers and LeBron James, if I'm Kevin Durant, I want out. And I want out fast.
And that may be true. Kevin Durant may want out, and the Lakers may try and pursue Kyrie Irving, and it'll take a lot. It's a lot that they have to do to get the money to clear up the salary cap and all those sort of things. But in the end, Kyrie Irving has a decision to make, and he's got to make a decision that's good for him. And I know what you're saying, Jay, that there's zero chance. No, there's always a chance to go somewhere else, because even though you know that relationship is strong, they both got to do what's best for them. They've already tried it. What has been 3 years now? 2 years going on 3?
Yeah.
And it hasn't worked out to their benefit at all whatsoever. Now you say that the New York Knicks, he didn't want to sign with the New York Knicks, which is probably true. But wasn't there a different regime in the front office at the time? And you know how Uncle Wes can get. Uncle Wes could be very influential in terms of chopping in somebody's ears and getting them to do some things from a basketball standpoint that may benefit the New York Knicks or anybody else when he's involved in those teams. So I look at it to say, if I'm Kyrie and I have a relationship with LeBron James and I know that I've won with LeBron James, I tried to win with KD, I won with LeBron James, and if I can get my money without all the other things that potentially could be going on with the Nets saying, well, I don't want to pay you this based on something, why wouldn't I look to leave? Why not?
I don't see it happening. And if you want to bring back the past 3 years, I know that people have built up a book of evidence against Kyrie that tries to make him seem like he's not a guy that's going to be there when it's all said and done. But if you want to go back to the insurrection on January 6th, that was an unprecedented event, right, in which he took time. The pandemic, COVID, like unprecedented event that he took time because he didn't want to get vaccinated. Even going back to the bubble around George Floyd and what was happening with this country. There were a lot of things that people stood up for over the past 3 years, and people were trying to build that into the argument about why Kyrie is not reliable. At the end of the day, this comes to Kyrie and KD's relationship, Key. If their relationship is on par, you can make the money work, even if there are stipulations in the deal.
Here's my question. Let me ask this. So why is KD positioning stuff through the media about Kyrie? Does that indicate to me, if Perk comes out and says, hey, KD is going to leave if da-da-da-da-da with Kyrie. That's not coming from nowhere. Why is KD, like, does that mean that he has gone to the Nets and said, hey, I want Kyrie here. Let me be very clear. And they're like, well, we got to do what we got to do. Or is that KD like, I'm probably not supposed to interfere directly in negotiations. Let me call some people I know in the media to let them know how I'm feeling. You know what I mean?
So you think KD planted a seed to grow so Perk could say that, opposed to Perk
I'm not saying where Perk heard it from. I don't know. I have no idea where Perk got it from. But when I see, if I hear JWill or Perk or someone who talks to people say, hey, you know something? Let me tell you what I think. I listen very closely because they're not usually pulling it out of the thin air.
Okay.
I used to say this on First Take with Stephen A. If he would say something, I would tell people. I'd stop the show. I'd say, hold on, everyone. Listen very closely to what Stephen A. is saying. He talks to a lot of people. He's not just inventing this, right? That's why I'm asking. For when I start to hear things in the press about players from sources who used to ball, who talk to a lot of people, etc., I listen very closely. And to me, what I'm hearing is KD feels he either can't, or he doesn't want to go directly to the Nets and say, put the brakes on this thing.
Real quick before we go to break.
Yeah.
Through all the chaos that has been around Kyrie Irving, that's been manufactured by the media and himself to a degree, when have you ever heard KD speak out against Kyrie?
Never.
Okay.
Right. Oh, that's
I'm
right
just
on
adding
point.
to your point.
Yeah, yep, right on point. And there's no way the Nets don't know how KD feels.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.